Good day, everyone. During these 1.5 years of lockdown, I haven't been able to buy a book at a bookstore, nor go to a lending library. So I have started to read all the books that I have in my personal bookshelf. And a few days ago, I picked up Pinocchio. And I was very struck by what this little wooden boy said. You can have fantasies and you can have magic, and everything is possible. It only starts with a wish. And I thought to myself, how true. So I have to call my video, Oh, How I Wish. All of us at some point have believed that the past were always the best days of our lives. And so often we have said, oh, how I wish for those good old days. Well, not so much to go back into the past, not so much that we regret too much about what's happened between then and now, but perhaps to relive some moments twice. We've all had wonderful memories of those good old days. And it doesn't harm to get onto nostalgia lane and remember them, because it leaves us with a feel-good factor and makes the present more tolerable. Oh, how I wish I was young and carefree again. What we don't realize is even in those young and carefree days, we had problems, but we didn't see them as problems, possibly because we were younger and more resilient. When we were school-going kids, there were always subjects that we hated, teachers who used to target us, classmates who didn't like us. When we grew into adolescence, there were boyfriend problems, there were communication problems with parents who didn't want us to go out on dates. But we somehow always felt that we could circumvent those. Later on, of course, our problems got more serious because they turned into responsibilities. And now we had our families dependent on us. But it doesn't mean that we want to go back to those days and relive all those crazy moments again. But it's a nice feeling to think, that is what we did when we were young, and we're going to feel young in our minds with those memories. Oh, how I wish I could go back to school. In the movie Goodbye, Mr. Chips, that beautiful song, school days are the best days of our lives. For me, they were. But somehow I don't miss them anymore because during this lockdown, a beautiful thing happened. We managed to round up the girls from our batch of 72, and all of us have come together on a WhatsApp group. And if any of you are privy to the chats on that group, you will realize that there's been no time lag between 72 and now. We have just picked up where we left off, and it just goes to prove that you can be 18 till you die. How I wish I could go back to college. For me personally, I was in an all-girls college. I ought to have been, because I'm a total tomboy, I ought to have been in a co-educational institution. But I chose to go to Sophia College because they had the finest drama and elocution and debating societies. And while I was the bane of the nuns' existence because I was a total rebel, I loved my years on stage at college. But I want to go back to college not to be a rebel again, but to understand what I studied. You know, when you're in college, and I did English as an honors subject, for me it was just a subject in which I am awarded my degree. But now I realize I should have spent more time understanding Chaucer and Shakespeare, Tennyson. Oh, I have read Dante's Inferno again, but it's just not the same. I wish I were a fresher at work. When you start work, it's a new life. And at that time, you're so taken up with now being incorporated into the adult world that you don't really learn all there is to learn in your chosen field. I started my career in advertising and then moved on to travel and tourism and then to teaching. So I have had a brilliant checkered career and a freelance one, which afforded me a lot of experiences. But I wish I had learned to write better in my advertising days. I wish I had learned more about geography so that I could be a better travel executive. But, well, that's gone for now. But I can read and relive. And don't forget the joy of that first paycheck. And that is why I'm so sort of a little amazed at the youngsters today, the young professionals, who in this work from home environment are always so tired of work. And they are young, and I wonder what life is going to be for them as they move forward. My advice to them, don't let that enthusiasm go. Don't let your get up and go, get up and be gone, because these are days you will never get back. Oh, how I wish my kids were younger. Not that I could be biologically younger, but that I could spend more time with them. Because all too soon they grow up and they go away, and most of us are empty nesters. But always keep that cookie jar open. Oh, how I wish I had more time. Not for a longer life, but a life of quality. To give more of myself to others and to make my own life more meaningful in the doing of so. You know, you've always heard it said, if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. Be careful what you wish for soon it may be yours. Well, the past will never have a total bearing over the present moment. So just go back in time, think of those days, and keep those memories and feeling good about them to celebrate your life in the now.